Compound inequalities might sound complicated, but truthfully it's just two separate inequalities on one graph. So we're going to begin with this, and we're going to look at the graph x is less than 2, and I'm going to graph that. So I go to my number 2, and I show that x is less than the number 2, and I'm just drawing along the entire side of this graph. Now we're also going to, notice I'm leaving this open because it's not an equal to, it's just less than. So I'm going to be graphing a second equation on this line. X is greater than or equal to -1. So I'm going to -1, and it's greater than or equal to, so I'm filling it in. And x is all numbers that are greater than or equal to -1. Now you should be able to see that these graphs overlap. So what's called the solution is going to be the points that overlap. So anything including -1 all the way up to, but not including, the number 2. Let's do a few more of these for practice. We have x is greater than or equal to -3. I'm going to do that in my pink pen. So I'm going to -3 and drawing my circle. It's greater than or equal to, and x is all numbers greater than or equal to -3. Now the other part of this, our other equation, is x is less than 1. So I'm going to 1, it's open, it's less than, it's not equal to, and I'm graphing that. Now our solution, you can clearly see, are the numbers between -3 and 1. Now we have this system of equations, which is x is less than -3 and x is greater than 1. And yes, I just threw in a new vocabulary term for you. A system of equations is just more than one equation. So you have two equations here, a system of equations. X is greater than -3, so I'm going to graph that. It's greater than -3, and we have that x is greater than 1. So our solution for this system of equations is where our graphs overlap, which is anything greater than the number 1. For this next graph, we have the system x is less than or equal to 3, and x is greater than or equal to -5. So first we do x are all real numbers less than or equal to 3. And we have that x is greater than or equal to -5. So now, in this one, the solution doesn't go on. The numbers are only those in between -5 and +3. Those previous problems we were doing were the compound inequalities with an AND statement. Now I want to show you one with an OR statement, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. For this system of equations, we have x is greater than 1. Not equal to, simply greater than. And we have x is less than or equal to -2. Notice our graphs don't overlap here. That's why this is called an OR, because our solution are either the numbers that are less than or equal to -2 or greater than the number 1. So that's why this is called OR. They never overlap. To sum up, a system of equations is more than one equation, and their solution can be found by graphing. You can either have AND solutions, where your graphs overlap, or OR solutions, where your graphs do not overlap.